Okay, good morning and welcome to our video on our rotations lesson. Okay, so today if you have me for math, you want to turn in your packet to the back of the second page, find where it says 6-3 Analyze Rotations. Okay, so what a rotation is a transformation that turns a figure around a fixed point. So normally our point that we're going to end up using for us is going to be the origin. So it's going to say we're going to rotate around the origin, which is the point 0, 0. The angle of rotation is the number of degrees the figure rotates, and you're going to notice CW or CCW after those. CW just means we're going clockwise, so with the clock, and CCW means counterclockwise, against the clock. Okay, so here are the rules for our rotations. To go 90 degrees clockwise, which is actually the same as 270 counterclockwise, you take your point, xy, and you flip it around so that y comes first and make x negative. I apologize for the scribbles here. When I was writing it out originally, I made a mistake. Okay, to go 180 either way, it's actually the same. You are going to start with a point, xy, and then you're just going to simply make them opposite. Whatever x was, you make it opposite. In this case, they put it as a negative, but it really means opposite x, opposite y. And then finally, if you want to go 270 clockwise, or that would be 90 degrees counterclockwise, you start with your point xy, you flip it so that y comes first and x comes second, and you make that y value opposite. Okay, so if you need to pause the video right now to make sure you've got all this down, go ahead and do that. If not, please turn to the next page where we're going to do an example. Okay, so our example that we're going to do today, and let's see if I can focus that a little bit better. My apologies if it wasn't focused earlier. Okay, so what are the coordinates of TRY after a 90 degrees clockwise rotation about the origin? After you find the coordinates, plot the image T prime, R prime, Y prime on the coordinate grid. Okay, so something that might help us is to have our rules in front of us. So you might need to write them on a separate sheet when you are doing any of the assignment, or at least have your notes in front of you. Okay, so what we do is we start by identifying the original coordinates here. So T, R, and Y is what we need. So the point T, if you look on the grid, is left 7 and up 1, so that's negative 7, positive 1. The point R is left 8 and up 8, so that would be negative 8, comma, positive 8. And finally, Y is left 3 up 5, so that would be negative 3, positive 5. Now, here is our rules, which I'll put down here so that I can write across. And we are trying to go 90 degrees clockwise. So 90 degrees clockwise is going to change our ordered pair. So Y is going to come first, and then we're going to make whatever that X value is opposite. Not necessarily negative, but opposite. So let's go ahead and do that. If we do that to T prime, let's put the Y value first, so 1 would come first, and then our X value has to be opposite. So it was negative 7, we're going to make it positive 7. Let's go with R. So R prime is going to switch this around, so positive 8 comes first, and now our X value will be opposite, so that will also be positive 8. Finally, our Y prime, again, we're going to switch it around, so 5 comes first, and then our 3 will become positive 3. Oops. Okay, so now our goal is to go ahead and plot that on the grid. So 1, right 1, up 7 for T prime, right 8 and up 8 for R prime, and finally right 5 and up 3 for Y prime. Then you want to go ahead and connect your dots, and it should look like you took that original triangle and you rotate it about our origin, so about this spot, 90 degrees, and in fact we did. So great job with that one, and you're going to want to have these to complete our assignment today. Our assignment today looks like this. And we have more examples, which we can get when you get back. But here, let me get you started on the assignment. So our assignment today says rotations 1. We just did a 90-degree clockwise. So let's do a different one. Let's do a 270-degree clockwise and see what happens there. Okay, again, I'm going to use my my rules, so you want to have those handy somewhere. Okay, so what we want to do on these, none of them are labeled. So the first thing you want to do is go ahead and label your dots. So there's one here and one here and one here. And if you want, you can just do A and B and C. It doesn't matter what you label them as long as you label them consistently. So our original A is at the point 0, -2. Our B, our original B, is at the point 3, 0. And our C is at the point 4, -4. Okay, and so it says 270 degrees clockwise, so we got to use our notes here. And I see that right here. It means that we're going to switch them. So y is going to become first and x second, and we're going to make that y value opposite. So A prime, if I switch them around, the -2 comes first, but I also have to make it opposite, so that's +2, and then 0 comes second. All right, let's do B prime. Again, the y value has to come first and become opposite. Well, 0, there is not really an opposite of 0, so we keep it 0. And then our x value is second, so we're going to make 3 our second value. And finally, C prime. We're going to switch them. So -4 technically comes first, but we have to make it opposite, so that's +4. And then the +4 comes second. Okay, so my primes are all my blue values, and I want to plot them on the graph. So A prime, right 2, up 0. We'll label that. B prime is left and right 0, and then up 3. So here's my B prime. And then finally, my C prime is right 4, up 4. So right 4, up 4. You want to make sure you reconnect those dots. And it should look like you took that original and you shifted it clockwise 270 degrees, and you absolutely did that. Okay, your job is to finish the rest of this page, which would be 1, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and we will turn that in. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Have a great day.